Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If my voice sounds a little different, it's because your girl's a little sick, so send some prayers up. But I'm still recording because I need to do what I said I was going to do, which is 29 days in Nurshida. So I'm so happy that you're tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about how to get into nursing school or even grad school with bad grades. So many people think that school has always been easy for me. In my early years, I guess that was true. I was always seen as a gifted kid. I learned how to read very young, like I was like 3. I don't even remember learning how to read just because I always knew how to. And also, they would always ask my mom to have me skip a grade. She never let me do it, but she said she didn't want me to miss anything, which is understandable. But undergrad was hard, and I was not an A student. I was an A through Z student, but I still ended up at the #1 nursing school in the world, getting a PhD. So if I could do it, you could do it. And here are my tips. So my first tip is don't be afraid to retake classes. I remember years ago they used to say don't retake them at community college. I retook organic chemistry at community college and it was perfectly fine. The first time I took Orgo, I had to withdraw, I got a W. The second time, I got a straight up F, and I tried so hard. And then the third time, I took my talents to community college and took the course for a fraction of the price, and I got an A. And that's also because the classrooms were smaller. At my university, I went to Rutgers. There'll be like 300 people in the class. The professor does not care, you're another number. There just wasn't a lot of good supports. My friends that had money would hire private tutors for thousands of dollars, but I didn't have that. So community college it is. My second tip is if you're good at taking standardized tests, then make sure you score well. I'm not the best at standardized tests. When I applied for Penn, they required the GRE. I don't think they still do, I'm not sure. I know a lot of schools are phasing it out, but it was recommended that you get over the 50th percentile in all sections. I did in reading and writing, but in math, I think I scored in like the 19th percentile. I did really bad. And the thing with standardized testing is some researchers are led to believe that it is a eugenics test. It is meant to keep out minoritized and underprivileged people from pursuing education, because at the end of the day, it's not a metric of how smart you are. It's just really about the resources you had. All I had was online resources and a book, whereas some people are paying private tutors, and some of those tutors have helped make the exam, and they're becoming experts in how to take the exam. So for that reason, a lot of schools are phasing it out, thankfully. I didn't do well, but that leads me to tip number 3. If you're a good writer, or even if you're not, spend a lot of time on your essay. My essays are always so long. And years ago, I said I was going to put out some materials like templates on how to write really good essays when you're applying to school. That's still on my to-do list. I just need to clear up my schedule of a couple of commitments that I need to close out. But yeah, your girl could write a good essay. And also the nice thing about the essays, you can address your shortcomings in the essay as well and talk about what you're doing to fix them. So for me, even though I didn't score well in the GRE and I failed organic chem in undergrad, I did take biostatistics in nursing school, and that's probably the hardest class that you have to take when you're getting a PhD, and I got an A in it. So I talked about that and just different things that I did to get better with my statistics skills and things that I plan on doing to continue to improve. That leads me to tip number 4, which is to know why you struggled. So most people who want to go to grad school or who want to be a doctor, a nurse, etc., we didn't do bad in school because we were just lollygagging and partying all the time. We were studying really hard, but we were also dealing with real life challenges. So when I interviewed for Hopkins, they did ask about my organic chemistry grade. They were very thorough. They were like, looks like in 1942 you failed organic chem. And I was like, why, yes I did. And I just explained to them that the cards were stacked against me. I went to a high school with over 5,000 kids. Sometimes there wasn't even enough seats for the kids. I was in honors courses, so there was seats in my core classes, but in my electives and other courses that I had to take, there was literally not even enough chairs. Like, some students would sit on windowsills, and coming from that, and then also being first gen and not being rich, right? Like, if I'm thinking about how I'm gonna pay for my phone bill and I have a organic chemistry exam the next day, then naturally I'm not really focused, even if I am studying. So usually interviewers, if you can tell them why you struggled, especially for some people who have gone through big life changes in undergrad, then they're usually understanding, especially if they're also researchers. So if you apply to research institutions or you're getting your PhD as well, then they're more understanding. And you could also use statistics to back up what you're saying, because all this could be backed up by statistics. Like, being first gen makes school harder, and being underprivileged financially makes school harder, period. And there's statistics to back that up. And if you can provide those two, I'm sure they'll be really impressed. So that's my other tip. And my last tip is to network. Sometimes it's who you know. When I applied to University of Maryland's PhD program, they required that all your letters of recommendation come from people who have doctorate degrees. Again, I am the first to go to school, so I don't know a lot of other doctors. But then I reached out to my sorority, and someone there was able to help me out. So network, you never know who you may need, because it ended up being someone I was close to, but I just didn't realize that they had a doctorate. It was someone who was older, and I actually called them my aunt, but for some reason it didn't click that before they retired they had a doctorate degree. So they wrote my letter and everything worked out. So make sure you network, because if you have a really good letter recommendation, especially if it's someone who's well connected, it could really help push your application forward. So those are my tips. And if you struggled, especially in undergrad, and you feel like it's the end of the world, know that it's not. I guess it's just life handing you some character development. I made it, and I know that you can make it, and it's all gonna work out. I promise. Everything's gonna fall into place. If you have any tips or any testimonies about how you were able to go to your dream school or live your dream life even though you got bad grades, feel free to leave it in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys next time.